Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Poppin' Off. I am your host, Pd PopOff. How's everybody doing out there, huh? You doing all right? Good. So today, we're going to talk about flatulence. Yeah, farting. Yeah. So I don't know, like, if I'm the only one out here who deals with this. Okay? And I don't mean flatulence, like, we all fart. But I'm talking about earth shattering, world changing farts, dude. I mean, farts that could fucking ruin the ozone layer, dude. So last night, I'm tossing and turning, and I laid on my side, and I let out one of the most ungodly farts, poofs of air, that I think could ever be doctored up. Like, if I could bottle it up and sell it on eBay, dude, I would have. It was that amazing. Now, I don't know if you're like me, right? I don't know if you're like me, but when I kick out a rancid ass explosion, I'm proud of it. I don't deny it. Like, I'm not in school. Like, I don't give a shit. I remember being in school and you're like, oh, whoever smelt it dealt it. I was the one that was like, damn right I did, dude. I'm proud. I'm proud of my ass air. Not ass hair, but ass air. And I let one out last night that was so bad. And I'm just laying there. I thought my wife was asleep. It woke her up out of her sleep, dude. It woke her up out of her sleep. And I giggled. I'm still a little kid at heart. I giggled. Like, so what? Sue me. I giggled. And about, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes went by, and another one came. And when I let this one rip, it was like a goddamn chain. It was like a stuttering chainsaw. And all of a sudden, my wife goes, "Stop! They smell so bad." That's what you get. That is what you get feeding me Italian chicken and broccoli every night. That is what you fucking get. That's your Easter surprise, babe. You know? That's your Good Friday. That's your Passover surprise, dude. Something died in my asshole and it rose on the third day. There you go. She was not happy and I just giggled. And she's like, I'm glad you think it's funny. And I let another one go. And this one, I was like dozing off, but it must have been so bad. I woke up this morning to go to work and she was on the couch. But she's got Good Friday off. I don't. I wake up this morning, I go out in the living room and she's on the couch, passed out. I'm like, hey, like I didn't say nothing. I kept it quiet, but I'm thinking to myself, damn, dude, I must have been tearing it up, dude. I must have been tearing it up, dude, because I woke up and she was on the couch. Yeah. And I'm proud of it, dude. I'm proud of it, dude. So yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Like I want to know if anybody else deals with this and how you feel about it. Because I'm here to tell you, dude, the flatulence that I had last night would have put people in India to shame, right? It would have put people in India, it would have made them sick to their stomach, dude. And that's saying a lot, right? And I'm not out here trying to fucking, put down India people. Not at all. Pakistanis. I'm not. But let's be very honest, man. Let's be very honest. All right, let's act like adults. All right, and let's accept it that they stink. All right. Now, I'm not saying this to be rude. I don't hate them. Not at all. But let's be very honest, right? Like this podcast is about truth. It's about being honest, right? A lot of people from India and the country itself fucking stinks. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It's legitimately one big garbage dump, right? Now, have I ever been to India? No. No. So I can't, don't take my word for it. It's not like I've been there and I'm sharing my experience. No. I am citing multiple documentaries and films and memes. Okay? I saw a documentary, and they're all over YouTube. All you got to do is type it in India Garbage River. And I think it's called the Yamun River. It is bonkers. It is bonkers, dude. The Yamun River is one of the dirtiest rivers in India. And like they're showing the documentary, and they did water samples of it and all that. But like in the documentary, like there's legitimate piles of garbage all on the banks. There's like toxic sludge and fucking foam. And then like as they're panning the banks of the river, there's a dude at the end shitting in the river. So what am I supposed to believe? Not only that, but you see all the Indian street food videos, people getting sick. It's like, damn, dude, it is the cesspool of the world, man. At least that's what it looks like. I'm sure that there's some nice places. I'm sure that there's some nice places in India. But by and large, it's a cesspool, right? Like I was once told, if somebody makes you a sandwich and 90% of the sandwich is shit and 10% of the sandwich is fucking a delicious, delectable, goddamn gourmet prosciutto spread on the sandwich, would you say that it's a nice gourmet prosciutto delectable spread of a sandwich? Or would you say that it's a shit sandwich? Now, me, I would say that it's a shit sandwich because 90% of it is shit. That's India, right? Like, I'm sure that there's 10% of it. I'm sure that there's like 10% of it's beautiful. Shit, maybe even 20, right? But we're still looking at 80-20, 90-10. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick. Maybe I'm just uneducated. Maybe I'm just ignorant. I don't know. Like I said, I can only tell you what I've seen in documentaries. I can only tell you what I've seen on the internet. I can only tell you what I've heard from other people who have lived in India. I've worked with some Indian folks before, and they're nose blind. They are nose blind to their aroma. It is vile. And here's the thing, right? Like, every culture, every ethnicity has their own funk, right? Like, I've walked into Asian people's houses, and it is fucking gross. I've walked into black people's houses, and it's really not that gross if I'm being honest with you. All the black people's houses that I've walked into or been in smells like incense. And like I'm not trying to stereotype. I mean my fucking family's black and Puerto Rican. Smells like incense, maybe a little bit of weed smoke, maybe a little bit of Newport smoke. But by and large, it smells like incense and lotions. It smells good. If they're cooking, it smells even fucking better, dude. Now, the Indian people's houses that I've been into, it has like a musky, spicy funk, and it's not good. Like to me, it smelled like a musky, spicy Frito. And what fucked me up the worst was they had like these fruits on the outside of their house, like blood oranges. And I asked the guy, I said, Mr. So and so, what's this? And he said, this is our house. So you know, we're just moving here. When we're moving here, we put this stuff out to ward off the spirits. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, everybody's got their own traditions and customs. Like, that's cool. You know, like, I'm not knocking that. But in my mind, I'm like, don't you, like, I didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, don't you think you should put them fruits on in the house, cover up that stench? So, you know, like, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. I'm not trying to sound like a piece of shit. But this documentary I watched, they're at the, I believe it's the Yamoon River. They did a water sample, man. They had a normal cup of water, crystal clear water, and then they scooped up some water from the Yamoon. It was black fucking sludge. Black sludge. Like, it looked like, you ever used a plastic cup to ash a cigarette in? Or you see, you go to a party and people are using a plastic cup to ash their cigarettes in, right? That's what it looked like. It looked like a plastic cup with ash. Just nasty, dude. Nasty. And they did a water sample on it. There was 0% water. It was that polluted, which in my mind tells me that it is no longer water. If there is 0%, oh, excuse me, I misspoke. There was 0% oxygen in that water. So in my mind, that tells me that it is no longer water, because I'm not a genius, not by far. You know, I, not even close. But I was taught that there's always 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. That's water. So when they did that water sample, there's no oxygen. That's not water, bitch. That's not water, bitch. I don't know what it is. And then they panned the camera, and the native that lives there, he's like, yeah, you know, like, this is this is actually the cleaner part of the river. And my mind was blown, jaw was dropped. And then they pan to the river and they show a dude in there bathing. What are you doing? What are you doing? They can't even have villages or grow crops. I believe it was a mile or two. I could be mistaken. But they couldn't grow crops near that river. They couldn't have villages near that river due to the fear of the crops being tainted and polluted, and due to the village getting sick. And then they went to the Ganges, the good old Ganges. And it's just as fucked up, dude. A bunch of goddamn river shitters, dude. Now, I'm not hating on them. I got love for you. I'm pointing out the obvious, man. Right? I'm pointing out the obvious. What are you doing? Why are you dumping shit water? Why are you pooping in the water? Why are you praying to your 50 million gods in the water? Why are you drinking the water? Why are you cooking with the water? What are you doing, dude? Because it's not water. When they test that water, there's 0% oxygen in there. It's not even water. So what are you doing with it? And while we're on it, dude, why do you have all those gods? You have 50 million gods, but you don't got one fucking god of sanitation and hygiene? Go fuck yourself. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear it. You're praying to Shiva. She's got all those arms, and you mean to tell me she can't hold on to a bar of Dial soap? She can't hold on to a bottle of fucking Dawn? That's not a God I want to believe in or pray to. Nope. Not at all, dude. Fuck you. And I'm not trying to like upset you guys. I'm not trying to upset any Indian listeners out there. All right? I'm just kicking some shit. I'm just kicking some shit to you. Right? Because the more and more I think about it, how fuck. All right. like I said, dude, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to stereotype, but there's always some truth in the stereotypes, man. I walk into not all white people, but I walk into some white people's houses. It smells like wet dog cigarettes and grease. And cat piss. It smells gross. I walk into other white people's houses. It smells like potpourri and fucking lamb chops, right? I walk into some Asian people's houses. It smells like fish and fucking Heinekens. I walk into other people's houses. It smells like goddamn fish sauce and soy, right? Like there's stereotypes, right? Because some of them, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, there's some truth to it. How fucked up is it? How fucked up is it that Indian people's stereotype is that they stink and that they shit in rivers? Like we all know the stereotypes for white people, black people, Asian people, Mexican people, right? But those are kind of like, I don't know what the word is. For a good chunk of them, they're speculative, right? Not all black people like watermelon. Not all black people like grape soda. It's very rare that you'll go out in public and see a black person drinking grape soda and eating watermelon with a bucket of fried chicken. That's very rare. But you can pass that down to any race. I'm white and I love me some fucking grape Fanta. I love me some watermelon. And you bring me some Popeye's chicken, dude, I'm tearing it up, dude. Right? And you got, white people stereotypes, right? Smell like wet dogs, shooting up schools, abusing children, right? Like it's not all of them. It's not all of them. You got your Asians, you got your Mexican, right? Like there's stereotypes ad nauseum. But with Indians, that's a weird stereotype, man. That's a weird stereotype. Like you're good with IT, you're good with electronics, you scam people, and you stink. Like that's probably the worst stereotype to have. Because it's a stereotype that can be readily identified easily. And that's what's crazy about it. That's what's crazy about it, dude. Is it's like you go up to an Indian person, a Pakistani or whatever, you take a whiff, checks out. Like it's easily identified, dude. It's crazy to me. And I'm saying all this, I'm saying all that, excuse me, I'm saying all that to say this. The farts I had last night would make the stinkiest of Indian say, "God damn, boy. God damn." So that's all I got. Have a good Friday. Have a good Monday or whatever it is, Passover. Good Friday, Holy Monday. Have a good time. You know, don't come up to me with the goddamn ash on your forehead because I'll make fun of you. I don't want to see that shit. If it makes you feel good about it, that's cool. Just don't come up to me with it. Like, it's not that I don't want to see that shit. Just don't come up to me with it. Don't come up to me and try to have a full-fledged, serious conversation with me with ash on your forehead, dude. Because that's all I'm going to be staring at. That's all I'm going to be staring at. I'm not going to take a word you say serious. I'm just going to be asphyxiated. Excuse me. I'm going to be fixated on that goddamn ash on your fucking forehead. So don't do it to me, dude. Don't do it to me. All right? You guys have a good rest of the week. Much love. Make sure you check me out. I'm on all socials. I'm on the Tiki Tag. I'm on the Mark Zucker book. I'm on the Instagram. I'm on the Clapper. I'm on X for sure. Make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube. You know, if you guys are into fucked up humor, stupid memes, stupid videos, check me out. Support your boy. If not, off you go.